Welcome back once again, everybody, to Dear Amber, Chinese Pod's insider's guide to everything China. Today, we have some information about getting a Chinese scholarship in China. And also, we have a fun bit about the Chinese view of nakedness. And also, due to a rash of recent thefts around here in Shanghai, we have a little spot about protecting yourself from thieves. Okay, enjoy. Dear Amber, I'm interested in attending university to study Chinese in China. Is there any scholarships that you know of for foreigners? Now, it's just perfect because we have Ross here today, who's a new member of Chinese Pod, and he's so smart that he actually did get a scholarship. I can't have any personal experience in this regard, unfortunately. But hi, Ross.
Hi, how you doing?
Good. So can you tell us a bit about how long have you been in China?
I've been in China for 3 years now.
And how long was the term of your scholarship?
The scholarship was 1 full year.
Okay. And what university did you go to?
I went to Fudan University.
Okay, so that's in Shanghai, right?
Yeah.
So is that one of the bigger universities around
It's in
here?
the top 3 universities in China, I believe. So that was one of the reasons why I went there.
Oh, cool. So was the program like, were you taking a degree here, or was it just strictly a Chinese learning program?
It was strictly a Chinese learning program, but the scholarship allows you to do undergraduate, postgraduate, whatever you want to do. You can apply for it. And I applied for just a 1 year, one-off year in university.
Yeah, that's good. One off. Okay, well, it sounds like our listener wants to study Chinese, so probably would be similar to what you took.
Right.
So how did you apply for that, Ross? Can you maybe give him some info? How did you even find out about it?
Personally, I found out about the scholarship from my local university. They told me that if you want to study abroad in any country, there's a number of scholarships that a lot of people don't know about. Initially, I was going to go to Italy, but actually, I found out that each country offers, there's a lot of partnerships between countries, and Ireland has a partnership with China. So 2 Irish students can go to China and study each year, and 2 Chinese students can go to Ireland and study each year. Now, I think nearly every country has this type of partnership. So if you want to find out about this government scholarship, all you got to do is go to the China Scholarship Council. They have a website as well, and you can you can look at all the different scholarships available, or you can just contact your local Department of Education.
Oh, that's cool. So maybe we can try and find that website. We'll put a link in the Dear Amber comments. Wow, Ross, Italy or China? It seems so vast, the difference between those two. What made you pick China in the end?
Some people say that Italy is the China, the noodles, the pizza, the bad driving. Some people say that that Italy is the China of Europe. So I liked Italy. I went there originally and then decided, well, why not go to the real China?
Wow, I didn't know Italy was the China of Europe. That's
wild.
What
I think I could have made that up. I'm not too sure.
Well, it could be. Well, the noodles make it that anyways. Okay, so what did you have to do to apply? How did you get the scholarship? Were you the top of the class or what?
I certainly wasn't top of the class. There were only 2 scholarships for the whole of Ireland.
Wow.
Which is, well, there's still only 4 million people, but there was two scholarships, and I have a feeling nobody else applied. So that was the only reason I got it. No, but the way I applied, you just send in your documentation, your intent of why you want to go and study in China. So originally I wanted to go and work for an NGO, so I said, I'm interested to go and learn about that kind of situation in China. But actually it turned out completely different. I was originally supposed to study sociology, ended up doing Chinese. Didn't go into NGO, I went more into business. Yeah.
Okay, so what do you think about the Chinese program there? Was it good, do you think?
The reason why I chose Fudan was because, it was a very famous name. I really did not research it, and I'd recommend anyone else coming to study in China to research the university they're going to go to. I really didn't put in the research, and I heard it was a famous university.
We often have people tell us things like,
I gave learning Mandarin a shot, but then I realized I really don't have enough time to commit to it.
Folks who felt this way love Chinese Pod Recap. In as little as 90 seconds a day, you can refresh what you've learned so far while adding a bit of what's new to your daily learning. An innovative language learning tool to fit the busy, fast-paced lifestyle of today's professionals.
The Chinese program itself is all right. Problem with it would be that it was the textbooks and the learning was a little bit dated. So we were learning some classes. We were learning about all different types of teapots and tea, and it wasn't really practical. So it didn't really suit. And also, a lot of the classes were a mixture of nationalities: Korean, Japanese. They all had different needs to what a Western needs. Western person needs. A Westerner would be able to very good at speaking, but poor at writing, whilst
Yeah.
the Japanese would be fantastic at writing and terrible at speaking.
So it's hard because you're kind of coming at it from different angles.
Right. So it was it was great fun to mix with those nationalities, especially the North Koreans. But
Wow.
it proved a little bit, people were at different levels and had different needs. Yeah.
Oh, well, I guess that's good that you found Chinese pod then and ended up working
It
here.
is, yeah.
So what about, I bet a lot of people are curious, like, did you live in the dorms, or how was your student life at Fudan?
Part of the scholarship, I'll tell you what the scholarship included. The scholarship included free tuition, free boarding in a dormitory for a year, and a monthly stipend of 1,000 RMB, which is about €100 or over $100 US.
That's pretty generous. Is it the Chinese government that gives it?
It is the actual Chinese government that
Wow.
gives it. So if a Chinese person goes to Ireland, the Irish government will give them money.
I see.
That was the deal we got. So I lived in a dormitory, and it was an interesting experience. Yeah.
Was it other foreign students, or were you with local Chinese
One
people?
building in the north of Fudan, 1,000 students just in one area. It was like a kind of a hotel, a little bit clinical, with a lot of security. Pretty interesting.
Foreigners mostly, or?
It was majority Korean. It was all foreigners. There was no
No
Chinese.
Chinese.
No Chinese. We were kind of separated from the Chinese. And that's
I
the way
see.
they wanted to keep it. We were the north. And I hear that in a few years they're going to move the foreigners even further away from
Oh,
the
really?
Chinese.
Too bad, because it would help your Chinese to be with
It would.
Chinese people.
It would.
So
But,
how about making friends and stuff? Were you able to make friends with a lot of locals so that you could practice your Chinese? Or?
The majority of the way I learned Chinese was actually through Koreans and Japanese, because they wanted to learn as well, and they weren't so interested in speaking English. Whilst the Chinese, I had some difficulties because they wanted to learn English. So they were more like language partners.
I see.
Whilst the Korean and Japanese were friends who were there to have fun and things like that.
So do you have any good stories of university life in China that you can share with everyone? Any juicy stories?
Any juicy stories? Well, in the dormitory, there was 1,000 people in one building, so there was a lot of messing going on. There was a lot of
Guys and girls
a lot of
mixed,
guys
or?
and girls. So as soon as anything happened, the rumors spread throughout the whole place. There were no parties or anything really organized for the foreign students. So myself and my friend actually started organizing a few parties, and that caused a little bit of excitement
yes.
amongst the foreign students. No juicy stories from the top of my head.
You're
but
just not sharing them.
Yeah.
We'll get them out of him next time.
Potentially.
Okay, thanks, Ross. Thanks for coming and letting everyone know. And if anyone has any questions, they can also leave them on the comment section of Dear Amber, and Ross can answer for you guys.
Thank you.
Right? Our next question comes from Philip in Oklahoma. He writes, Dear Amber, Chinese people are not shy about nudity, are they? This question is very true. And of course, my sidekick, Clay is here.
Howdy.
Clay, I'm like Johnny Carson. You're like, who's that guy on the side?
Ed McMahon.
Yeah. He's back to help us
To work on
answer
the
this
laugh.
question. But actually, Clay and I are experts on this question. When we read this question, we were really... we're really happy because we both go to the same gym, and I've seen the female side of things in the female change room, and Clay has seen the male side of things, maybe more than he would like to see.
More than I'd like to see.
Yeah, and we both, as soon as we saw this question, we both agreed that this was a great
I'm very surprised at your
cultural
answer,
insight.
actually.
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
So what was my answer?
Apparently, they're the same on both ends.
Apparently, Clay wishes he could come into the female change room. That's what it is.
I don't know about that.
But I can say that personally, my education in anatomy has taken place in China. So yeah, I don't even know. I've never seen. I mean, I lived my whole life in the West. I've never seen so many naked bodies in my life as I've seen since
Well,
I've been in China.
in more than a few locker rooms in my day, and I've never seen the people walk around so carefree ever. I mean,
It's almost like they're more comfortable without the clothes
they
than with
don't
the
want to
clothes.
walk with a towel.
Yes,
And they
there
wanna
is a towel, but they don't want it.
They don't want to use it.
Exactly.
They want everyone to see.
We can say we're talking everything blow drying. I mean, the blow dryers in the gym for your
That
hair.
could be a whole
but
show in itself.
They blow dry everywhere with the blow dryers.
Well, yeah, if you notice in the bathrooms, there's a plaque that says blow drying for hair, blow drying only.
Yes.
And apparently this is a constant problem.
And another
least at our
sign
gym.
brings to mind another sign I saw up in the change room, which went up after there became a common practice of women when they were putting their makeup on, they would sit on the stools. There's some stools up by the mirror.
Naked.
Nothing. I horrified was watching that spectacle take place, remembering the last time when I sat there in my jeans. Anyways, the sign went up. It still hasn't helped. I think Chinese people, although they're shy by
I'm still
nature.
surprised in that. I don't know why.
Yeah, they're shy. I mean, I think they're pretty reserved.
I thought it was like a male cockiness kind of thing.
No pun intended at all. I don't know if it's North Americans. I think Europeans are more open than us, but I found I'm quite a prude. I mean, I'm the only one using the change room with a curtain, or even shutting the curtain when I take a shower. Another thing I thought really funny, because I think of privacy is a big thing. Like maybe part of it, Clay, could be that Chinese people are not as private as Western people. Would you agree?
Not as private?
Yeah.
Oh,
like we're a little bit
as in
more
public?
private. Yeah. Like, for example,
apparently they used to, historically, they used to have, communal bathrooms.
Yeah.
Actually, they still do.
And that could be also a reason why. I mean,
it is.
I've been to hot springs in Taiwan, and yeah.
Learning Chinese is a little overwhelming. Sometimes it even feels like I forget more than I learn. Not sure how that's possible. Maybe I need to take more ginkgo biloba?
Yeah, probably. But have you heard of Chinese Pod? They have an amazing new tool called the Recap app. You can choose 90-second, 3-minute, or 6-minute lesson recaps, whatever fits your schedule. The app even populates itself with the reviews of the lessons you've most recently studied.
Cool. Maybe I don't need to get my head checked.
Maybe.
ChinesePod.com/recap.
Everyone's naked. No one's bashful.
Well, even in the saunas, everyone's in there naked. They don't. Usually, you come in with a towel. You sit on the towel. You're covering up something, but no, not there.
Yeah. So I think we could investigate the roots. Maybe it comes back to the public bathhouses.
I think that's what it is.
That's probably what it is.
Yeah.
Another thing I think is two people just don't have the personal space or personal privacy issues. The other day I was there and a woman started taking, everyone was naked. A woman started taking promotional pictures. She had put down some promotional materials and she was taking pictures of them in the change room. But like all of us were naked.
You would not see that back home.
Yeah, but no one minded. Okay, but this brings to mind another thing actually that I find so intriguing related. Have you ever seen the people wrapping their bodies in saran wrap?
No.
Okay, when you go in the women's change room,
Just like
people
girls?
are either naked or they're wrapped in plastic cling wrap. You know, cling wrap like you put on your, on your microwaved
Is
food?
this like to increase your sweating ability or something?
I think so. But they will wrap every part of their body that
No
has fat in
way.
plastic. Yes.
I have not seen that before.
Yes.
Or heard
it's
of
a
it.
very common practice, very common trend right now.
I'll keep my eyes peeled, but I don't think the men do that.
Yeah, I'm kind of thinking, I don't think it's healthy, but maybe Azure Doc Mom can advise us on that because every time I see it, it kind of shocks me. Not to mention it's pretty ugly looking.
Another reason why they might be a little
What's that?
open. Well, when they're little kids, like 3, 4, and 5, you see the kids with their asses hanging out of their pants because they don't really do diapers here in China. They just squat and go on the street.
Can we say asses on this program?
I don't know. You tell me. It's only my second week.
Well, we'll know if it gets bleeped or not.
All right.
Yeah, that's true, actually. I think that there's less issues about showing your bum or whatever because, I was riding my bicycle to work the other day and there was a kid. I mean, the kid was 8 and his grandpa was helping him go to the bathroom, pants pulled down, facing commuter traffic. And he was not bashful at all.
It's that whole communal lifestyle that they grew up with. So
Yeah, and a lot of housing here, even in Shanghai, they have shared bathrooms, shared showers. So yeah, I can see why are we so prude anyways, Clay.
Well, we always
we
have
gotta
our
get
own
over
bathrooms, and
Yeah.
every guest room has their own bathroom. We don't share.
Yeah, we're too uptight.
Not when it comes to that.
Okay, well, that's interesting. Anyone else knows anything else about the reasons why? They can leave an insight on the comments section.
do.
Yeah, I'm thinking, is there a lesson on this, something about talking about nudity? And I think that we don't have a lesson on this yet in
Public
Chinese
nudity,
Pod.
I don't think so.
Okay, we're going to do a lesson on this. So keep your eyes peeled, everybody.
Stay tuned.
This question comes from James. James writes, Dear Amber, I have had 3 cell phones stolen since arriving in Shanghai. Can you give some tips for warding off thieves? And so I've invited Jenny, who is a long-time Shanghai resident, in fact, a native of Shanghai.
Yeah.
Jenny, in your life, have you seen a lot of thieves in Shanghai around?
I have never seen a thief actually, but I have had my cell phone stolen once.
That just shows how sneaky the thieves really are, right?
They wouldn't be called thieves if you see them, I guess.
That's true. Well, personally, I've had 2 cell phones stolen since arriving, and last week my bicycle, which is upsetting.
That's traumatic.
It is. So I noticed something is that everyone seems to blame the Xinjiang people for being the thieves, which I don't really think is fair. What do you think, Jenny? Are all the thieves from Xinjiang?
Of course not.
No, but I think the problem is, in case everyone doesn't know, the Xinjiang people, they don't really look like Chinese people. They look more different kind of look, maybe more Middle Eastern. So I was thinking they must just stand out more. Yeah, so I think that people, just because they're more recognizable, they blame Xinjiang people, but I don't really think that's the case. Last week, a friend of mine was on Nanjing Lu, and she said that a very young, clean-cut person came up to her and started to talk to her. And then behind her, there was another clean-cut, young-looking, university student type-looking person, and they had their hand in her bag, stealing her wallet, while this other person was talking teenager. So really, thieves are thieves, and we can't blame anyone for being the typical or atypical thief, right? So basically, the best thing we can do, I think, is we have to protect ourselves, Jenny. That's the best way, right? So what do you think? What are some tips? Do you have any tips for everyone? Like maybe first we can talk about tactics that people use. Have you noticed any tactics?
I think you have to be really cautious when you're in crowded places like subway or shopping malls or events that are crowded, like concerts, right? And those are
anywhere there was a lot of people.
High-risk places.
Yeah, and also I noticed like on the tourist streets, like if anyone's coming to China to visit, be really careful. Nanjinglu is a pedestrian street. That's where I saw one band of thieves that I ran over and broke up.
Oh, yeah, and also time of the year. Usually before Chinese New Year, it's high crime rate season. A lot of people might be getting some New Year's cash.
So it's also the time of year to look out for that.
Yes.
Now, one thing I think that's really important, anytime I've seen thieves operating, it's usually this is the case for women. If you've ever got like a purse slung around your sort of messenger style and facing the back, you're just asking for it.
Yes.
Yeah, because that's a really
very
easy
dangerous.
way. Yeah.
Always keep your wallet, your precious belongings in places you can see.
Yeah, and I think the other important thing is when I got my cell phone stolen last time, I was distracted. I was unlocking the lock on my bike, and I think someone must have come sort of from the side and just grabbed it when I wasn't paying attention. So always pay attention. That's another good way to ward off any kind of pickpockets.
And always zip your bags. No matter like how short the window is, even you unzip it for 2 seconds, it might happen.
Yeah. The other time is I put my cell phone down on a bench in a park. Very bold. A man came up to me and he started pointing like behind me. It's like the oldest trick in the book, and I fell for it. I knew he was a thief, and I was trying to like watch everything at once, but I looked away for 1 second and he must have grabbed it from below, like right beside me, and he ran off.
Oh, have you noticed that in supermarkets, at big hypermarkets where you have the shopping trolley, don't leave your bag in the trolley.
Oh, that's
unless
another
you
good
can
one.
see it, yeah.
Hey guys, it's Michael here at Chinese Pod, and we want to say thank you to all of our faithful subscribers. If you're not registered yet, head over to ChinesePod.com now and get 20% off.
We got promo codes. Save your money. Promo codes. Learn Chinese. Register now at ChinesePod.com.
Use promo code GET20 at checkout to get 20% off your first year.
Another thing is, another big high risk item is like MP3 players, that sort of thing, iPods. My friend, she's walking, she had the iPod in her pocket and she's listening to music, and then suddenly the music stopped and she didn't feel a thing in her pocket, but she felt and it was gone. Yeah, she thought the battery died, but no, the whole thing was gone. I would say probably the top 3 items that get stolen is like cell phones, wallets, MP3 players. And another one is, of course, my experience, the bicycles. I mean, it's hard. You want a pretty bike, you want a nice bike, but okay, maybe the best way to ward off thieves is to buy a really ugly bike.
But even that might get stolen too.
It's true. So even if you've got an ugly bike or a pretty bike, you have to make sure you have a big lock, which also is no guarantee, right, Jenny? I mean, mine had a big lock and they cut right through it.
And sometimes the lock is more expensive than the bike.
It's true, but it's all insurance. It's security.
Oh, it's a catch-22.
It is. Yeah, I think maybe, if there is anything you can do is a lot of people just lock the lock to the bike itself, like so the wheel can't turn. Always try and lock it to a pole, and you can pay people 5 mao on the street to watch it for you. So that's always a good way to avoid
Bike
it as well.
parking lot.
That's right. And it creates employment, right?
I think always try to report a crime. You never know, you might get stolen good returned. Right?
Yeah, and actually, you know what? There's also a lot of honest people, I have to say, because a friend got he left his cell phone in a taxi. He thought it was long gone, but the person who found it, or the taxi driver, phoned the numbers in his phone and actually returned it to one of his friends, and he got the phone back. Unfortunately, that didn't happen to me, but you never know.
You know, my mother once got her wallet stolen, and a week later, the thief mailed all of her ID cards back to her. That's kind of nice.
What about the money?
That was gone.
Well, it was a good reward for them, for being honest. So there is both sides. There's stories that will make you really mad, but there's also those heartwarming ones too. So don't forget to check out the lesson on Chinese Pod about I see a thief. And that way, just in case you encounter one, you'll be able to chase him down.
But we hope you never will.
Yeah. That's it for this week's Dear Amber, the insider's guide to everything China. Don't forget to send any more questions you have to dearamber@praxislanguage.com or go to my profile in the comments section. And don't forget to leave what you thought of today's show and any insights or questions that you have, and we'll be sure to answer them. We'll see you next time on Dear Amber. 下一次见.